Hi, YouTube. I hope you're all doing well. Did you have a good Easter Sunday? Mine was okay. I made a giant salad and just had a bunch of vegetables, and I felt pretty good. I cut out the sugar for a couple days here. I'm going to do that because I do like my candy. Like Hershey bars with almonds in it, I think are probably my favorite, but I don't know. I don't like all candy, just certain ones, but too often than I should. And if I don't detox and fast and that type of thing, and then have my days where I take care of myself, well, then I suffer for it. So, but today may not be the greatest meal in the world, but I mean, it's going to be great because I made homemade pizza this morning. I got up pretty early and got the kitties outside fed and made some homemade crust and, dough, made my crust and then put my pizzas together, two of them, and baked them and threw them in the oven so they'll be ready for later. Doug likes sausage, I like pepperoni. So I got a little of each with a little green pepper, a little onion, and tomato sauce, mozzarella, and provolone. So it'll be good. Just using up stuff I actually just had around. That's what I did with the salad too. It's just like whatever I had, lettuce, tomato, cucumber, little onion, that type of. So, and I did make bacon bits because the other night Doug had fried some bacon and made some sandwiches for himself, and there was part of that left. So I just took and made it into tiny pieces and crisped it up. And if that's a word, crisped it. I have like CRISPR technology, on my bacon. Well, if it was that, it should have jumped in the pan by itself and fried, right? So, yeah. But or a new strain of DNA. All of these things that they say they can do scientifically doesn't mean it's actual fact. Um, Logic dictates that some of the stuff that they're saying is not humanly possible. Mechanically, yeah. I know a lot about mechanics and the human body, so take your pick. We can talk about either one. But if I get cut off, I do love you all. Thank you for joining me. Um, I never know with the equipment I have right now what it's going to do. If I get a pop up on, I noticed when I'm, excuse me, recording, sometimes my laptop will get a pop up on it, excuse me, and then it cuts my camera off. I don't get it, but electronics, you never know. But how important is to you is it the people you are around, whether they tell white lies or they're just flat out liars, or like the narcissistic personality. I was listening to Quinn on ASSC podcast. Did narcissists destroy the dating culture today? Is the name of his video. Yeah, did they ever? They destroyed marriage too. Um, it's so acceptable for people to be cold hearted. And when we're around people that are like that, you gotta be pretty careful that you don't fall into being like them. I mean, to treat them how they treat you is one thing, but to treat the whole world like they treat you, that's bullshit. That's on you. And I'm calling like on a couple people I know for certain. Um, just hold your horses with treating everybody in the world like shit. Well, it isn't just a couple people, it's the majority of the world is very accepting of other people's faults because they don't want to clear up their own. They like the filth they're living in, you know? So, and that's my observation with people. Like if they're rude or snotty or uppity or got their nose in the air or they think they have something you don't or whatever their mental issues are, they're mentally ill. That leads me to two. I was listening to a Lionel Legal. He was talking about we need to get people off the streets, like especially like in Philadelphia, where people are just either lying around or dying out there from drug overdoses, and a lot of these people are emotionally unstable, and they need help instead of sending our money overseas for things that normal people don't do. Normal people don't approve of going into another country for any reason with arms. And it's just, it's all retarded, is what it is. It's a money making scheme and a control uh, tactic, you know? So, yeah. Okay. So, if anybody's around and you want some pizza, stop in. Really. I know a few people around that might listen to me. Pop over. I'm sure it'll be good. Even if I'm not eating yet, I'll give you some. You can throw it in the microwave or eat it cold. Either way, you know. So yeah, I made two of them because it's just as easy, and I was using up cheese that I had and the onion and a few things that I had to use up anyway. So, and there's not a lot. There might be like 3 tablespoons of onion in the whole thing. The same with the green pepper. But what I do with onion and green pepper before I put it on my pizza normally, typically, I cook it first. The same with mushrooms. You don't want the moisture from the vegetables coming out on your pizza, and you don't want raw, cold um, or you know how you'll bite into a pizza and either the onion or the green pepper is like still crunchy. It's not a good it's not a good thing, and it'll taste bitter. The green pepper will taste bitter if you don't cook it a little bit first. Usually. So I do that. It takes a little longer, but it tastes better. And like I say, it cuts down on the moisture. You don't want to bite into a piece of pizza and having goo dripping down on you, or all over you, or if you have kids or whatever, you know. So, yeah. So it smells really good in here. Um, and I cook the pizza crust a little bit first, and then I put my sauce on and my cheese and then my toppings and then throw it back in, because I don't have a pizza oven. Otherwise, it would just blast everything really quick. So we talked about getting a pizza stone you can get for your oven too. So yeah, yeah, maybe someday. you know. Do you know what's the difference between a pizza stone, which is a piece of granite, and just a regular stone? Like a piece of granite you might take out of the ground, you could split it and you could actually make your own pizza stone. You would have to put it in the fire first and see if it was going to break or pop, because a big trick with a lot of people around campfires to scare other people, but it's actually really dangerous, is to take one of our indigenous rocks and throw it into the fire. The moisture in the rock will pop and explode. It's not a good thing. People have actually gotten hurt by flying pieces of rock, you know. So that's how they fire a pizza stone, to make sure all the moisture is out of it. So, but if you're by like by a river, I've seen foolish people do that intentionally. I've done it and I didn't know what I was doing, you know, not just to throw a rock in a fire, but maybe bump one that was on or by my bonfire. Different things that have happened with stones like that. So, yeah. Well, I don't know. I heard, I don't know, Lionel, when you watch me, or Mike, whatever you prefer, um, I don't know what your beef is with Jordan Peterson. Did he rub you the wrong way? Did he say something off that I missed? Which is very, very, very likely. I just always found him to have God in his heart and to have be a good person. Um, I could be wrong, but I think he's very intelligent in most of the things he said. So, I don't agree with all his outlooks in his psychological mind, but if I were going to a college where he was one of the speakers or a professor, I would definitely want to take his class because intellectually I find him sound and more family minded than a lot of people. So that is where that attraction comes in for his work that he does. So, you know, and that brings something to mind. I'm probably the only woman that unless she's a fucking hose bag, but that would tell her husband, "Hey, I love that guy," you know, and unless it's an insecure person or they're the hose bag, they're gonna think less of their wife for telling them something like that, because either they're playing games with her or they're a hose bag, like I said, and they're insecure because that's the way they are. They're a low level human being and they couldn't deal with the fact that there is um, agape type love on this planet for other human beings. So um, I don't deal with that bullshit well at all. It's like if I can't say, hey, I love that person, and you can't see that my mind never went in a sexual direction, well, you, for real, really real. That was one stipulation I had when I first met Doug is if you're a jealous person, don't even come around me. Or if you're like triangulation, if you try and make me jealous by introducing somebody else into the conversation, or like a woman might say, well, this guy at work said I was hot or something, and or this woman said something about me if your husband's talking to you. Oh, really? That's a whole nother different thing. I mean, now if you think everybody's cute and you're looking at them like they like with a godly spirit, that's a whole nother thing. Then you should see beauty in everybody and it isn't sexual and your brain would not go there. So I don't know how I got on that tangent, but just listening to people talk, I think, it's like, wow, you know. But unfortunately it really didn't turn out like that, and I've been cheated on, and so was Doug in his last relationship. But as far as me being an honest person, my motto is I would rather die than lie. I would rather lose my soul than be a liar. And I'm asking people out there, what level is your integrity on? How self confident are you in your walk with God that you could say you would rather die right now, right today, right this second, instead of being a liar? Ask people that. If they can't answer it by, yeah, I agree with that statement, then you're dealing with a liar, which the integrity in this world is lacking. Now, if you're talking to a little kid and they did something wrong, and I'm talking a little kid, teenagers maybe, but telling untruths is kind of a part of the growing process, even if they're tall tales. I knew kids that would tell tall tales. As a matter of fact, I was actually in my school when I was in elementary school accused of telling a tall tale on a vacation that I had taken. And I got rather pissed because I wasn't lying. And that really today, that rubs me the wrong way when everybody thinks that everybody else is lying. You better get a grip on who you're calling a liar. For real. Really. Those are fighting words. Oh, it's just like Quinn over at ASSC Podcast. He's like, yeah, when women get called a hoe nowadays, they wear that like a badge of honor. Yeah, I can see that. A lot of people are like that, you know. They just have no, I mean, they act and say they have self-confidence, but they don't. I mean, their integrity level and their mannerisms and who they are integral, who they are inside, doesn't speak confidence. And he was talking about Instagram models and what they actually want and what they're looking for. Well, when I was asked to be a part of Vogue Junior, um, being in a magazine, I think, is a whole lot. And it was in modeling for Sears and Roebuck. It was a department store for their clothing. And we had a show that we did, and their book where they sold stuff. And but I would go to modeling agencies. I wouldn't be out there on Instagram like everybody and their daughter. I'd be contacting Vogue or Maxim, or what is that one? Oh shit, no, that's a filthy one. We used to get ones that they'd send to our shop, because we're a business. And then actually, I had to send in these slips. Like, stop sending this to me in my mail. My son's going to get the mail, and I don't want these in my mailbox, that type of thing. So, yeah, but there are still some pretty good magazines out there. I'm sure that a person, if they had a portfolio, actual physical pictures that you could take in, not Photoshop shit, but actually physical, a portfolio that you could take online probably isn't going to get you any money. The only thing that might get you is maybe dead. But yeah, if you're chasing the money like that and you're not actually putting the physical work in, I don't know, even electronically, that would be, I wouldn't go in that area at all. Not today. Not like that. I'd still look for the physical, tangible um, modeling agencies, a bigger one. And if you really deem yourself as that beautiful, then go for it and do it the right way. Go big time. Why settle with what a little teenage girl? Are you going to compete about against 15-year-olds that are pretending to be women? Because a lot of people, um, that's what they'd rather look at. So I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. And I'm just actually giving some advice to anybody that might be thinking about doing something like that. I wouldn't be doing it online. I'd find a better representation for myself than that. So yeah, it's a crazy world. Yeah, Quinn was talking about give me these women from the past that had, what do you say, like Edna May, like two um names, one that can make like what do you say, like steamed cornbread. I make cornbread, but I've never steamed it. you know, I mean, I'm not looking for um like I've told people, if this doesn't work out in my life this time with this relationship, I barely want this one, let alone looking for something else. And I wasn't looking for this one when I happened upon a situation in my life where it was different. Yeah, I actually got set up. I know I did, but my whole life, yeah. And I can watch somebody else going through the same type of thing, and they don't even realize that I'm living through the very same type of things. Except that I think I got a little better of a handle on the situation because I'm not buying into any of the bullshit or the lies. And integrity isn't something that you can say you have, it's something that you can prove you are. It's something that um, your community will reflect back at you, not just on YouTube. I'm talking your physical community, where you live, how the people around you would speak of you. Now, I could say that my neighbors, not all of them, some of them don't like me, and I'm okay with that, but they all respect me, you know? So even Doug would never call me. He tried a couple times just out of trying to cover up for himself, call me a liar. Oh, you do not even want to come close to nothing like that. You'll be hexing yourself. Yeah, you will. I'll guarantee it is. All I got to do is think something. And if you put something in my mind and I'm thinking it and it goes out in the ether, that's on you and I can't stop it. I can try to think a little lighter of the situation so it doesn't cause you any harm, but you're causing yourself harm if you're not righteous with your observations of people. You know, that could be a problem. You know, so if you have any questions about who I am, ask Doug. And this is somebody that I've run over him with a steamroller in public for the whole world to see. So if anybody had a reason to speak bad about me, it would be him, but he wouldn't dare. You know, yeah, well, you could try it. You know, but yeah, and you would think, well, and he may not stick up for me either. Who knows? And on that note, I really don't care because on in that respect, I've been alone on this planet from day one. Unlike most of you, I didn't have parents, real parents, or siblings. The first blood of mine I ever saw, I put on this planet. And that is a little different to, it was over 3 decades, and I was able to look into another human being that helped put me on this planet, which was my grandmother. And then eventually I met my mother. Whatever. And if I do talk about mother, it would be my adoptive family, who was the Masonic family that raised me. And the reason why I knew about all these agendas that are in play right now, I tried to get people to listen to Israeli News Live. I'm not the greatest fan, but the reason why I shared it yesterday is because it shows Trump with the rabbi from Israel signing in the education law, which is the Talmudic laws, um, and the seven Noahide laws, with another. Well, I think there's like 166 or something. There's sub laws to this. The dangers of all that. So if you have time to listen to it, or if you want to take that into account or take heed to what I'm saying, that would be a good thing to listen to, just to educate yourself on what we're facing on this planet. It's not just in one country, it's worldwide. So, and unlike the Dark Cabal, the people that are out here on our own like this, we're doing this by ourselves. We're unorganized. I mean, God's helping us, you know, just like talking today. I had no clue what I'm going to talk about, but I don't really worry about it like I used to. I don't stress over it because I found that I always have some words that come from my heart. And that's the best way that I can talk to everybody, you know. And I really do love people. That's why I keep talking, you know. So, and we have a beautiful day. It is 60 something in the shade. It's got to be 70 degrees out there, and the snow is melting fast. Maybe I'll be able to get out, and I'm thinking before it gets too buggy out there and the woods get too treacherous, because we do have a lot of bramble and a lot of, well, and it's hilly, and it can be difficult. But I'm gonna see if I can get to the top of the hill and then go down where it's like a cave. It's the mouth of an old volcano that the creek comes out of. It's a beautiful valley back in there. I'm going to see if I can get some really good shots of it here in a couple weeks, maybe. It'll take a while. First, the snow's got to be gone, which it's not. There's still a couple feet out there, but we got pummeled this year. It was the third snowiest recorded, not global warming year, that I've ever seen for a while. So, anyway. So, anyway, I'm going to get this uploaded, and I do appreciate you all joining me. Um, I really want you to have a good week, and I really want you to consider your integrity, and also consider, okay, this person that I'm thinking of who said, was worried about people being a liar. He said, about other things, not this one thing in particular, that if he was wrong about who's who, to forgive him. Hey, I forgive before you even do it or say it. But it still rubbed me the wrong way to be painted with that broad of a brush when you're talking to people who would rather die than lie. And I want to hear you say the same thing. Stake your soul on the fact that you're entirely honest with me. That would be something to hear. Any of my friends, anybody, hello, you know, how strong are you? What kind of conviction do you hold on your own heart and your mind? All right, everybody. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Have a good night or day wherever you're at.